I always tell everybody, I don't go in there looking for the knockout. I go looking for the win. But if he get out of line, he's going to be the next one down.
Terence Crawford, he has definitely gone under the radar. 4-weight world champion, 41-0, 31 knockouts. A southpaw who's got IQ and speed and craft. I think it's a fabulously interesting matchup.
Great fight. The reason I have so much confidence because I really believe that Bud Crawford doesn't fear Canelo Alvarez. A lot of his opponents.
Boxing fans, you won't believe what just went down. Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez faced off in a heated press conference. And what started as words almost turned into a war. This is more than boxing, it's pride, legacy, and survival on the line. Terence Crawford exploded at Canelo during the press conference. He made it crystal clear. His mission is always to win in the ring. But he warned if Canelo dares to disrespect him, things could get personal. The way Crawford spoke, with fire in his voice, showed not just his determination, but a deep confidence that he's ready mentally and physically.
You were there is stuff. You were see you were talking to. Let everyone. You were because you keep talking. You doing all that talking. That's how you doing all that talking. Oh. You can't say I come back. You don't talk. And you talking too much. Hey, this like some attention. So it's gonna be legendary. Female ass. Yeah, sure, man. This is a legendary old school fight. Get out some attention. Put the camera on him because that's what he's doing. Showing out like a female. Let him finish, but go ahead, EJ. Yeah, all right.
Boxing trainer Greg Hackett has been one of Crawford's biggest supporters, and he believes Bud can beat Canelo. Why? Because Crawford is fearless. Unlike other fighters who hesitate when facing Canelo's dominance, Crawford never fights scared. Hackett says this isn't arrogance, it's discipline. Years of victories and an unshakable belief in himself. And in boxing, confidence can be the most dangerous weapon.
Canelo, they taking Crawford. You got people that was taking Crawford. They taking Canelo.
Yeah.
What do you make of it?
It should be that way because we talking about a great fight here. We talking about two great athletes. So when it's like this, it's better for the betting. You know what I mean? All the people that like to bet, it's better for them. You know what I mean? Because nobody knows where the money gonna land. The reason I have so much confidence in this fight, you know, thinking that it's going to be a great fight. The reason I have so much confidence because I really believe that Bud Crawford doesn't fear Canelo Alvarez. A lot of his opponents in the past were nervous, scared from the beginning. I don't think Bud feel that way at all. I think we're going to get a good rumble on our hands. You know what I mean? It's just going to come down to the big question for Bud is, can he take the shot? You know what I'm saying? The question, I think, for Canelo is, does he get old? I say that for a reason. It's he got a lot of fights, bro. He got, I think he going on almost 70 fights. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he a little bit under 70. That's a lot of fights for current time. You know what I'm saying? And Bud got a lot of gas still left, but he's older as well. You know what I mean? A lot of people like to give him shit for not being able to take a shot, or not that he didn't take the shot, but getting buzzed with some shots at lower weight classes. So it's like, how can he handle himself at 168 pounds? But you have to understand the physical to understand how. You know what I mean? I'm not about to get into all of that, but you know what I mean? I do understand he will be a lot more sturdy at 68. I mean, if you smart, you've seen it at 47 versus Earl Spence. You know?
Respected commentator Adam Smith says this fight is the ultimate test for Crawford, but it's winnable. Smith points to Crawford's incredible boxing IQ, his ability to adapt mid-fight, and his lightning speed against Canelo's defense. Those quick adjustments could open doors. Smith predicts the fight may come down to points, Crawford out-hinking and out-maneuvering Canelo. Over 12 intense rounds.
13th, it's billed as fight of the century. I do feel as though this one, for such an unbelievably good fight, the prospect of, it has gone under the radar a bit. We've spoken more about fights that are not even...
Remember Eubank Ben? I mean, how much you spoke about?
No, I love that fight.
Yeah, but compared to these two guys...
Yeah, but that's in Britain, that's prime time here, it's the football casuals. I think the problem with this fight is It is just a fabulous boxing matchup and one with all sorts of curiosity between two superstars. The Ring magazine's dedicated the entire magazine, but this is boxing. It's hardcore boxing. I think Canelo is known. I think Canelo, obviously the Mexican machismo that holds all the super middleweight titles, nearly 70-odd fights. He's been phenomenal. I think he's 35 now. But for Terence Crawford, he has definitely gone under the radar. 4-weight world champion, 41-0, 31 knockouts. A southpaw who's got IQ and speed and craft. I think it's a fabulously interesting matchup, the two of them, because you've got the big guy, the strong, super middleweight, really, really cultured, wonderful fighter in Canelo. But is he just slightly, ever so slightly, fine margins past his peak? And you've got Crawford, who needs this fight as his coming out party. The big news, it's on Netflix, so he'll get the attention. Can Crawford do it? It's a huge step again in weights. But I think he's got the speed. I think he's got the know-how. I'm sure we'll talk about it more next week, to cause problems for Canelo. And I think that he could win it on points.
But not everyone is convinced. Analyst Tadeo Ladipo says the hype is bigger than the fight itself. He argues that unlike Usyk versus Dubois, this matchup doesn't have that raw unpredictability. The weight difference leans in Canelo's favor, and for Ladipo, the excitement feels more manufactured than natural.
Like, you know, it's been billed as the biggest fight of the century, SummerSlam, the biggest fight of all time. Let's calm down, people. Let's breathe a little bit. It's a big fight. But it doesn't quite feel like those things. It doesn't feel like the biggest fight of the century. Like, this doesn't feel like, and maybe because I work these events, so it's slightly different, but this doesn't feel like Usyk Fury, for example. It doesn't feel like that at all. That felt like, oh my God, this is going to happen. Undisputed heavyweight title fight. Remember, this is an undisputed super middleweight title fight. Just feels a bit lacking of something. Like, I can't believe that Max Kellerman is now part of this. And again, for nostalgia, we haven't got a Max Kellerman face-off. Like, how Canelo speaks great English now. How we haven't got that? Just to kind of give it a bit of spice, because Canelo, with his English, it's like he's only learnt the bad words. He does chat a lot of shit. So I almost feel like we should have done that. Maybe because it's on Netflix, it hasn't got a bit of a push from ESPN. Obviously, there's no DAZN stuff, obviously, because DAZN are not covering it. I feel like it's lacking something. Like, maybe because both of them don't trash talk either. Because when I think of the biggest fights of the last sort of 15, 20 years, you've always had one side of the fight, or one side who's a big trash talker. In some instances, two. The biggest fights, again, Usyk Fury. Fury was happy to do all the trash talking. Sold it. Event went massive. Mayweather, Pacquiao. Mayweather is happy to do all that, right? Mayweather, McGregor. Hence why that went just colossal, because you got two of the biggest trash talkers ever doing it. This time, Canelo ain't saying anything. Crawford ain't saying anything. Feels a bit flat. Feels a little bit flat.
Promoters have turned this into a cultural spectacle. With Netflix jumping in, the fight feels like a global event. Documentaries, interviews, behind-the-scenes footage, all designed to make this feel like the fight of the century. It's not just sports, it's entertainment at the highest level.
I'm holding you to the standard you said. They're tagging this the fight of the century, colossal, super fight, Netflix, Dana White, right? So now we got to look at it. You can't tell me something. See, I'm not the type of person where you could pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. If that's you and you're going to let somebody urinate on your leg and tell you it's raining, that's on you. But I don't do that. I'm a critical thinker, and I'm not just going to listen to what you tell me and see if the facts don't support that, right? So if this is the fight of the century, let's look at it. Boxing tickets, Canelo versus Crawford, right? Since August 29th, tickets listed, $2,566 value, $7 million plus worth of tickets. Hey, bro, $7 million worth of tickets.
Veteran analyst Al Bernstein offers a reality check. He says this wasn't the fight boxing fans were begging for. Many wanted Crawford to stay in his natural division or Canelo to face different opponents. Bernstein sees this as a marketing creation more than a true rivalry. Yes, it's exciting, but maybe not the matchup die-hard fans really wanted.
I think it's one of those fights that the interesting thing is it wasn't as if every boxing fan said, boy, I can't wait to see Canelo fight Terence Crawford. In other words, it wasn't one of those fights. Like, there were more boxing fans that said, gee, I'd like to see Canelo fight David Benavidez. But having said that, I mean, among the hardcore boxing fans.
For sure.
Said that, what they did, and this happens sometimes in boxing, they come up with a matchup that wasn't on everybody's mind, but kind of makes sense. And the proof is in the pudding. If you do one of those kind of matches and the interest is not there, you're going to find that out.
For sure.
In this case, obviously the interest was there because they've sold. I mean, I went online and looked at the ticket sales and everything. And they've sold, looks like they've already sold 30, 40,000 seats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
believe
there's
they'll sell
not
it
that many
out.
left in Allegiant Stadium. So that alone is an indicator. The amount of attention and coverage the fight has gotten, and this is one of those fights that will also have a good barometer as we get closer to the fight. How much is the mainstream sports media covering the fight?
Yeah.
You know, it used to be in the old days, big fights were covered all the time by the mainstream sports media, not so much in recent years. And so that's always a barometer of whether it, really is as big as we think. As far as the actual matchup is concerned, when it was originally announced, I thought they were going to have a hard sell in convincing people that Crawford could come up 2 weight classes and take on a 168-pounder because he already moved up.
Can Crawford overcome the size difference? Fans admit the odds are stacked in Canelo's favor. If Crawford shocks the world, it will go down as one of boxing's greatest upsets. But if Canelo dominates as expected, people may write it off as predictable. That's where the tension lies: hope versus expectation.
So many tickets available for this fight because of that undercard. This promotion has been it's very interesting, man. Number one, there's no real reason for this fight to take place. Terence Crawford and Canelo. Nobody was asking for the fight. There's no natural connection between the two fighters. There's just two names that people think are on the top of a hypothetical list called the pound for pound list that many people act as if it's real. So they're two top pound for pound people, and they put them together and think this makes some big magic match. It may be a magic match once they get in the ring if Terence Crawford can overcome Canelo Alvarez. Has got a real potential for that. But what happens if the fight winds up just being what more than likely it'll be, which is Terence Crawford trying to get away from the bigger, stronger Canelo Alvarez, because again, he's jumping so many weight classes. That's the gimmick. That jumping the weight class is the gimmick that is supposed to be attracting people to this fight. Gimmicks are not gonna pull it. And you can't tell me of the people. Now, there's gonna be many people in the stadium. People go to the fight for sure. There are gonna be people out there for that event. But you can't tell me that particular event with the fights that they have on that card is going to be some memorable night of boxing, other than maybe it taking place in the main event. You have people. Many of these fighters are not from the United States. As I look from them, I would have to go out and see in the United States how many fighters from the United States do they actually have, right?
Terence Bud Crawford is absolutely ripped, absolutely shredded. What looks to be about 175. Now, he fights next Saturday, a week out from the fight. It's a week out from the weigh-in. So I'm sure that you look at Terence Bud Crawford right there and you see he is absolutely shredded right there. And this is a week before the weigh-in, right? So I'm pretty sure he's probably weighing about 174, something of that magnitude, maybe about 173. 175 is probably the max he is at right now, because obviously the weight is at 168 and he's a week out. So he might be around 173, drop 5 pounds on next Friday for the weigh-in, right? So Terence Crawford, as I showed you guys, is training and putting a mass in his shoulders and in his legs. As you can see here, once again, right? He hasn't gained a lot of muscle mass except in his shoulders, okay? When you look at Terence Crawford in previous fights, previous weigh-ins, his arms look pretty much the same. His neck and his shoulders is where you can see a clear difference from fights in the past, right? When you look at his midsection, his core, right, you can see the water weight, right? So right now, it's going to look like his midsection, his core is going to look bigger than what it actually is.
Don't forget Canelo Alvarez is no ordinary fighter. Turning pro at just 15, he's fought legends across multiple weight classes. His jab, granite chin, and ability to adapt in any fight make him one of the most dangerous opponents in boxing history. For Crawford, this isn't just another fight, it's the ultimate test. So, what do you think? Is this fight pure hype? Or can Terence Crawford really defy the odds and beat Canelo Alvarez? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this clash is already one of the most talked about moments in boxing. Stay tuned, we've got more updates coming your way.